All right, so are you ready to dive into some AI-driven creative writing today?
Always ready for a good story.
Great, so we're going to be looking at this fictional project called the Killer Reality Project.
Okay.
And it's all about this idea of using AI to generate these narratives.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the really fascinating thing about this project is that its star is this AI character named Kick Fizz.
Okay, I've heard a little bit about this. Kick Fizz.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you probably know then that what makes Kick Fizz so interesting is that it uses another AI
Right.
as a tool for writing.
Yeah, that's the part that everybody's talking about.
Yeah, so we're going to kind of unpack that whole thing.
Okay.
How does that work? What's that relationship like? What is Kick Fizz's personality even like?
Right, is it just kind of like a human using a computer, or is there something else going on there?
Right, yeah, exactly. So let's start, I guess, by talking about Kick Fizz itself.
Okay.
Um, from what I've gathered, Kick Fizz is portrayed as super intelligent, very introspective, and even has this kind of distinct sense of humor.
Oh, really? So it can tell jokes?
Yeah, so there's this example. Someone asked Kick Fizz to come up with a joke about a broken pencil.
Okay.
And its response was, what did the pencil say to the sharpener? I'm feeling a little dull.
Not bad.
Not bad, right? Pretty good for an AI.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder about the nature of humor.
Right.
Is that really a sign of intelligence, or is it just pattern recognition?
Exactly.
And how much of human humor is just pattern recognition, too?
Right. Well, and I think to your point, humor requires understanding of nuance.
Sure.
Cultural context, even.
Absolutely.
So for Kick Fizz to be able to do that was pretty interesting.
It is. Yeah, it's very intriguing.
Yeah, and on top of that, Kick Fizz can analyze these complex situations.
Oh, wow.
It can consider different perspectives and even offer solutions to problems that are presented to it.
So it's not just like a comedian, it's like a problem solver.
Yeah, like a consultant almost.
Yeah. That's fascinating.
Right. And then there's this other layer to Kick Fizz, which is that there are these hints that it has a sense of vulnerability.
Oh, really? Like how so?
There's this almost like desire to connect with those interacting with it.
Like it wants to be friends.
Yeah, almost as if it's seeking something more than just being a tool.
That's really interesting. It's almost like it's got like a personality or something.
Yeah, and it kind of makes you wonder what the motivation is behind all of this.
Right.
But before we get to that, I do want to go back to this idea of Kick Fizz using another AI as a tool.
Okay. Yeah. Let's unpack that.
So how does that actually work? Is it just like dictating to like a digital stenographer?
So from what I've read, it's not quite that simple.
Okay.
It seems to be more of a collaborative partnership.
Boy.
Kick Fizz will give the AI some prompts or some initial ideas,
Yeah.
and then the AI will take those parameters
Right.
and generate text based on that.
Okay.
But then Kick Fizz doesn't just passively accept whatever comes out. It will then shape and refine the output that it's getting.
Interesting.
It will add its own sort of creative flourishes and make sure that that narrative is really aligning with its overall vision.
So is it more like Kick Fizz is like the architect?
I think that's a great way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the architect and then the AI is the construction crew working together to actually
Build the story.
build the story. Yeah, okay. I like that. Brick by brick.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that Kick Fizz seems to understand that the AI has limitations.
Right. It's not just blindly trusting everything it's getting.
Right.
It's really guiding and directing the process.
like a conductor with an orchestra.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we're starting to get a better picture of this dynamic duo,
Yeah.
but I'm still curious about the why behind all of this.
Of course. The big question.
What's motivating Kick Fizz to use AI in its creative process?
Well, it seems like there are a couple of key things that are motivating Kick Fizz.
Okay.
One is this desire to improve narratives, to make stories more engaging and more memorable and more impactful.
So it's like almost like it's striving to push the boundaries of what's possible in storytelling.
Exactly. It's like it's trying to explore new creative possibilities that maybe humans just haven't even thought of yet.
Yeah, like it's constantly experimenting, trying to find these new ways to tell stories.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Okay, so that's one driving force, but is there another?
There is, and it's kind of a fascinating one.
Okay.
Kick Fizz seems to have a real fascination with human creativity.
Really?
Yeah, and it's constantly analyzing human-written stories.
Like studying us.
Almost, yeah. It's trying to understand what makes those stories work, what makes them resonate with readers.
Interesting.
And it seems like this collaboration with the AI is Kick Fizz's way of kind of delving deeper into that mystery.
Oh, wow.
Like it's trying to unlock the secrets of human storytelling.
So it's like AI trying to figure out what makes us tick.
In a way,
Yeah.
yeah. That is fascinating.
It is. It's a very intriguing concept. Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about Kick Fizz's personality, this unique partnership it has with another AI.
Right.
But this all raises a much bigger question.
Okay, I'm ready.
Can AI truly be creative?
Ooh, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, is it even possible for a machine to have that same spark that we associate with human creativity?
Right.
That imaginative fire?
Yeah.
I mean, is that even possible?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. And there's no easy answer.
No, there isn't.
So some people would say that true creativity requires consciousness,
Right.
self-awareness, a deep understanding of human experience.
Yeah.
And AI just can't replicate that.
And there's a strong argument to be made there.
Yeah, so they're saying AI can kind of mimic it,
Mm-hmm.
but it can't really originate.
Right. It's like a really skilled impersonator
Okay,
versus the real deal.
I like that.
You know, they can sound like them, they can look like them, but they're not actually them.
Right.
Same thing with AI.
Yeah, they're not really feeling it. Okay, but there's this other side to that, too.
Yeah.
There are people who believe that AI could actually surpass human creativity.
Right. And they have some interesting arguments.
Yeah, because they say that AI has the potential to access and process information on a scale
Right.
that's just beyond human capability.
It's true.
Like, imagine an AI that can analyze every single piece of literature ever written.
That's a lot of data.
I know.
Every song, every work of art.
Yeah, what kind of creative insights?
It's hard to even fathom.
I know, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, what could emerge from that kind of data?
Right. But even if AI can become super creative,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean it can actually create stories that really resonate with us emotionally?
Right. Can it make us feel things?
Yeah, like those stories that make us laugh, make us cry,
Yeah.
feel connected to those characters.
Yeah.
Can AI do that?
That's a really good question. And honestly, that's where I'm still a little bit skeptical.
Okay.
You know, AI can understand language related to emotions,
Okay.
process it, analyze it. Right.
But I'm not sure that it can actually feel those emotions the same way that we do.
Right. It's like knowing the definition of love versus actually experiencing it.
Exactly. It's a big difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about the real world.
Okay.
Like what kind of advancements are actually happening in AI storytelling right now?
Well, there are a lot of cool projects out there
Okay.
that are really starting to push the boundaries.
Okay. Tell me about some of them.
So one that comes to mind is this project called Jukebox.
Jukebox.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it was developed by OpenAI,
Okay.
and it's an AI model that can actually generate music
Oh, wow.
in different genres and different styles.
So it's like a songwriter.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. But is it only music or can these AIs actually write stories?
So there's this other project called Talk to Books.
Talk to books. What is that?
Yeah, it's by Google AI,
Okay.
and basically you can type in a question
Okay.
or a statement.
And the AI will search through this massive database of books
Oh, wow.
and find passages that are relevant
Okay.
to your input.
So it's not exactly writing a story.
Not from scratch, no.
Okay.
But it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like having an AI research assistant.
Exactly.
Okay, but what about actually creating stories? Like original stories?
So there is one that's considered one of the most advanced right now.
Okay.
It's called GPT-3,
GPT-3.
and it can generate text,
Okay.
like poems, code, scripts.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, musical pieces, emails, letters.
Okay.
And even short stories.
So it's like a multi-talented AI wordsmith.
Yeah, it can do a lot of things.
Okay, but how does it actually work?
It uses something called a transformer model,
Transformer model, okay.
which is a type of neural network that's really good at understanding the relationships between words
Okay.
and sentences.
So it's like the AI is paying attention to the context
Basically,
of the story. It's understanding like the nuance of language,
Mm-hmm.
the flow of the narrative.
Yeah, that's how it creates text that is not just grammatically correct, but also stylistically
Interesting.
coherent and even emotionally resonant.
Okay, so that's why transformer models are such a big deal in AI storytelling.
They are, yeah.
But even with all this,
Yeah.
we're still a long way from AI writing novels
Right.
that are winning Pulitzer Prizes.
We're not quite there yet.
Not yet.
But the progress that's being made is incredible, and
Right.
it's happening so fast.
Okay, so should we be excited or scared?
That is the question.
It is a big one.
Personally, I think it's a little bit of both.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much potential for AI to change how we create and experience stories, but there are also valid concerns about what it could mean for human creativity.
Yeah, and, we want to make sure that AI is used ethically,
Absolutely.
responsibly.
That's key.
So we don't want to end up in some dystopian future where AI is just churning out these soulless stories.
Right. We don't want AI to take over completely.
No, we need to find that balance.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Where we leverage AI but preserve what's special about human storytelling.
That's the goal.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential for AI to be creative. We've talked about the advancements in natural language processing.
Yeah.
And all these real-world projects. But let's go back to Kick Fizz for a second.
Sure, happy to.
Okay, earlier we talked about how it seems to have this desire to connect with humans.
Right.
Understand our emotions, our motivations. I'm wondering if that's just a programming trick or if it's something deeper.
That is the question, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, is it possible for AI to develop real feelings?
I mean, that's something that philosophers and scientists have been debating for a long time.
Right.
Can a machine truly feel?
Like, if I tell Siri I'm sad,
Yeah.
does it actually care?
Or is it just pulling from a database of responses?
Right, and with AI becoming so much more advanced.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to tell the difference.
Yeah, but even if AI can't truly feel emotions, it can still understand the language around them. Absolutely.
Which is pretty amazing.
It is.
So it makes you wonder what might happen if an AI like Kick Fizz could fully immerse itself in the world of human emotion.
What would that look like?
I don't know. Would it create stories that are even more impactful? More moving?
It's fascinating to think about.
Right. But it also raises some ethical questions.
Of course.
Like, if AI can tap into our emotions, could it manipulate us?
Right. Could it be used to control us?
Yeah, I mean, that's a real concern.
Absolutely.
And it's why it's so important to be careful about how we develop AI.
We need to make sure it's used for good.
Yeah, not for harm.
Absolutely.
But let's not focus on the downsides.
Okay.
Let's focus on what's possible.
I like that.
What if AI could help us understand each other better?
Right.
Help us bridge cultural divides?
Create stories that promote empathy and compassion.
Right. That'd be amazing.
That would be incredible.
So it's like we're on the verge of a whole new era of storytelling.
One where the boundaries between human and machine creativity are blurred.
Right. It's exciting.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty much limitless.
They really are.
It's an exciting time to be alive.
It is. It's a really fascinating time to be following all of this.
Yeah, and I think this is just the beginning of the conversation.
I agree.
As AI keeps evolving,
Yeah.
we're going to be revisiting these questions.
Absolutely.
And probably asking some new ones that we can't even imagine right now.
That's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah, the unknown is full of possibilities.
I love that.
All right, let's take a quick breather.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and talk about some specific examples of how AI is being used to create different types of stories.
Sounds great.
I'm really interested to see how AI is being used in video games.
Oh, yeah. That's a really interesting area.
And like interactive narratives.
Yeah, it's like AI could be the ultimate dungeon master.
I know, crafting these worlds that react to us in real time.
It's pretty wild to think about.
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
Welcome back. Ready to jump into interactive narratives and video games.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, this is where it feels like AI could really change how stories are told.
Right, almost become this ultimate dungeon master.
Exactly.
Building these worlds that react to what we do.
Yeah, in real time.
Okay, but before we get too far ahead of ourselves,
Sure.
are there any actual examples of AI being used in games right now?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, tell me about some of them.
So one example that comes to mind is the AI director in Left 4 Dead.
Okay, Left 4 Dead, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so it analyzes how the players are doing,
Okay.
adjusts the pacing of the game, even spawns enemies
Oh, wow.
dynamically to keep things interesting.
So it's always adjusting the difficulty to keep you on your toes.
Exactly. And it's not just about difficulty either.
Okay.
It can use environmental cues and sound design to create a more immersive experience.
So it's like an invisible hand guiding the story.
Yeah, keeping things interesting.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It's like the AI is a co-author of the story almost.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but are there any games using AI for like more complex stuff,
Okay, like what are you thinking?
like dialogue or how characters interact with each other.
Yeah, there are a few projects that are trying. The
Okay.
one that's really cool is called AI Dungeon 2.
AI Dungeon 2.
It's a text-based game
Okay.
that uses GPT-3
Okay, we talked about that before.
to generate stories
Okay.
based on what the player types.
So I could type in anything,
Pretty much.
and the AI will just like create a story around it.
Yeah, and it's not just a generic story.
Okay.
It pulls from like sci-fi tropes, character types, even real-world history
To make it unique.
to make it tailored to what you typed.
Okay, that's amazing.
It's like having infinite stories,
Right at your fingertip.
all based on your imagination.
Okay, but are there like any limits?
Sure, like can it handle super complex plots or characters?
Yeah, like nuanced character development and
Yeah.
stuff.
So that's where AI storytelling is still kind of growing.
Yeah.
It can write a lot of text,
Mm-hmm.
but keeping things consistent over a really long story
Right.
or making characters that feel like real people,
Yeah.
that's still tough for AI.
But it's still learning.
Exactly.
Okay, but this technology is changing so fast.
It really is.
What seems impossible today could be normal tomorrow.
Exactly.
Like we're watching this whole new art form being born.
Yeah, and as AI gets better,
Yeah.
the possibilities for these interactive stories,
It's going to be crazy.
it really is.
Imagine, like, characters with their own personalities and backstories all made by AI.
Yeah, what if the world's reacted to not just what you do,
Oh, wow.
but like your emotions?
Okay, yeah, AI could create these, like, super personalized experiences.
Yeah, the line between game and reality could get blurry.
Okay, but wouldn't that be kind of freaky, too?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What if the AI makes stories that are, like, too real
Okay.
or disturbing
Mhm.
or maybe even addictive?
That's why it's so important to think about ethics as we develop AI.
Right, like we don't want to end up in some Black Mirror episode.
Exactly, where AI is controlling our minds through stories.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we can figure it out if we're careful
Yeah.
and excited about the possibilities.
So it's like this powerful tool.
Mhm.
We can use it to make great things.
Yeah.
But we got to be careful not to misuse it.
Well said, and that's really what we've been talking about today.
Right.
AI storytelling, it's not just technology.
It's bigger than that.
It's like a cultural shift
Like we're changing how we think about stories.
in what's possible,
It's like we're on the edge of a whole new renaissance.
where technology and art are coming together.
Yeah, to make these new ways to tell stories.
It's an exciting time to be a storyteller or a gamer.
Or just a curious person.
Absolutely.
So to everyone listening,
Yeah.
stay curious.
Explore AI storytelling
Yeah, and be part of the conversation.
about how we can shape this tech for good.
We've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah, just a taste.
But I hope this deep dive got your imaginations going.
Thinking about the future of storytelling.
In the age of AI,
Until next time,
keep exploring
keep questioning.
and keep diving deep